Hello there and welcome. In this video, we're going to discuss character consistency and how you can create Instagram-like characters using Leonardo AI. Now, I've been meaning to make this particular addition to this particular course, and now is the time for us to go ahead and explore this feature in Leonardo. So go to Leonardo AI and basically log into the app. And once you're inside of the app, here you have the image creation button. And once you click the image creation button, you'll be here. Now, there's a lot of models that you can actually utilize, but in my case here, I shall not be utilizing any model. I will click here, and I want you to do the same thing on the model preset, and make sure that you're here. Make sure that you're set to the classic mode instead of legacy mode if that's the default for you. Now, classic mode is better. Not the flow state, but not the legacy mode. It's classic mode. Now click here on the model preset. And since we're creating Instagram characters, we want to make sure that they are realistic. So we want to go ahead with Portrait Perfect. So we're going to go and click here on Portrait Perfect, and that is going to select this model or preset. Now here, or model/preset, that's whatever you call it. Now here, in terms of the style, it depends on the style. So in this case, it's a portrait close-up, okay, because we want to focus a little bit on the face of the character. And then you can describe your character in here. So what we will do in the first place is we'll go to ChatGPT, and we will say describe a lovely Instagram model face, features, and body clothes from your imagination. So here, in other words, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to have it go and describe this. And as you can see, it gave me a pretty big description. I'm going to say it should be a short description. Only focus on important details. Right, instead of that huge description. So here, model has glowing porcelain skin. I don't really care about none of that. So I just want to copy the prompt and head back. So now what we're going to create, after pasting your prompt here, you're going to create a base image. So first and foremost, I got to get rid of that prompt and paste a new prompt. There is some excess space here. Let me get rid of that. And here, in terms of the size, you can select any particular size from here or here. I'm going to go for 4 by 5 inches since that's the Instagram size. And if you click generate now, it's going to generate 4 images at a time at that particular size with the generation mode quality. So I prefer quality over quantity. So I'm not using the fast mode. And what we're doing now is we're laying the foundations. So we are creating a base character. And then we can take this particular base character and we can have the character in the gym. We can have the character running a marathon. We can have the character drinking coffee. We can have the character socializing, talking on the phone. So you can have the character do a bunch of things. And this is going to permit you to create an Instagram character from scratch. So here, Leonardo usually takes about 40 to 60 seconds maximum to generate an image. Sometimes it could take more, depending on your internet connectivity and other details to be taken into consideration. But like I said, our goal is to get a base image. Then I'm going to go straight back to ChatGPT, and I'm actually going to ask it to describe the model with the same characteristics above doing a particular activity, or actually 5 different ones. So whether that be drinking coffee, jogging, gym, all right. So as you can see here, it has given us all of this, and that's pretty nice. So let's go back first of all. So here we have our model. Now, what you are looking for in a particular model is, first of all, you need to look at the picture, and you need to show it to someone you know. So choose one of the pictures and actually go ahead and showcase this to someone that you know already. And tell them, first of all, which one do you like? And tell them also, do you think, what do you think about this Instagram model? Never bring the fact that these are AI generated characters. If they tell you, well, what's her name or who is she, then you know for certain that they didn't think for a straight second that this is an AI character. Now I'm going to choose this one because it's focused a little bit more on the face features. And so I will download. Now, once you've downloaded this particular image, now playtime. Let's go ahead and create eventually more images. So in order for you to create more images, first of all, get rid of this prompt right here. And then click this little image button here that you will only be able to access if you do this. So click it and then use the character reference option. Now there is many other options such as the dopamine illustration, whatever those are. But what I would do is I would use a character reference of the character that I've just created. You can see I've already created countless Instagram characters or countless characters over there. So I'm going to upload the image by dragging and dropping it here. And what we can do is we can actually now make the character do something. So click here and make sure that this is set to not mid, but to high intensity or high strength when it comes to sticking out to the original character. Then we go back, and here you just need to copy the description that ChatGPT provided. In this case, the person is walking through a sunlit park. So I will be going back over here, and I'll just go ahead and paste this in. And I'll just go ahead and click the generate button. In which case, right after I click the generate button, it's going to start doing it. In the meantime, you can just go ahead and generate all the couple or the other images. But since this is about an Instagram model, then I would assume, or I would recommend, that you actually just create one image each day, okay? Or two images each day, maybe at work, coffee, gym, and just repetitive images and images that, about a certain status or showcase the character is actually doing a specific activity. So I'm actually going to stop at number 3. All right, I'm not going to generate 5 images because I have other things to show you. Because the images that are given to us by Leonardo here can be improved, and you can actually zoom out on them if you would like. There's a lot of things I can teach you, of course, but I'm just going to try to teach you the most basic things that can enable you to go ahead, and after that you can do some research. Now let's scroll down here. The character is still there. So now, because we've chosen this as the base character, what Leonardo is going to do is going to try to go ahead and make sure that the next images it generates are actually complying with this particular face right here. So it's going to try to do its best to make sure that it's not too far. Well, actually, most of the cases, you will not notice a difference. So when you look at the results, you're going to think, oh, so this is exactly that person. Hence why I'm going to actually open that image right here, because I want to make sure I have it as a reference that we can look at while looking at the generations. So let's just open it full screen. There it is. And now let's go back. So now we have the first results from the first prompt, outdoors. And this is pretty good. As you can see, this is the character and this is her in different particular images. Now, each image is a different pose. But you can actually choose which one of them you like, or maybe if you want, you can create a slide, or you can create a post that shows multiple images at a time. You can easily do that with Canva. Now here she is drinking coffee. Now, what I would recommend is that you actually just pick and choose the best images here, because some of the times, for example, you might notice that her head is bigger than it has to be. Sometimes the cup of coffee is huge. For example, here the cup of coffee is huge, as well as her head seems to be bigger than the proportions, okay, of her body. So this one out of the question. I'm not going to choose it. But this one actually feels very straightforward, even though the cup of coffee is really big. But they could say, well, that's an American coffee. Who cares? Maybe she's drinking a huge cup of coffee. Actually, I used to drink huge cups of coffee, American coffee. Now here, she's actually training. These pictures are a bit tricky because they can actually come across as AI generated. So you have to be really, really careful what you're doing here. So make sure that you select only the best of these images. Now, I have some tricks up my sleeve that I want to showcase, but the first one is we're going to take one of these images. So the best one that I actually like from these particular images, and I think that will do really well, is this one, because it's actually, as you can see, very natural, right? So very natural. So, and I want to take you to canva.com. I want to show you how you can actually zoom out in case you want to zoom out of the image. That's just something that gives you leverage if you want to zoom out, maybe create some kind of like a zoom in out effect using the flow transition. I can show you this. And then one last thing I'm going to show you before moving on, because I just don't want to give you so much knowledge at the same time. is Runway ML and actually creating a video based off your character. So you can actually go to Runway ML and take the character to the next level by animating the character and making the character into a real person. So I'm actually going to go and log into my Runway ML membership. I have a membership. I think it's a $30+ membership, maybe 35. I pay it every month because I actually use Runway ML, as a matter of fact. So I'm going to drag and drop this particular Leonardo image right here of the character. And in Canva, and guess what? You can do this. So when you go to canva.com, you don't need to create a design or anything. You can just take an image and drag and drop it into Canva. And if you scroll down enough, you'll find the image right there. So if I scroll down, and Canva, by the way, if someone can do something about this, Canva sometimes can be really slow, especially at the loading. When it's loading. So I don't know what they're doing about this, but this is truly something that makes Canva a little bit, sometimes very non-user friendly. Apart from that, it's the greatest tool in the world when it comes to designers that don't have a lot of skill and want to create something from nothing. But like I said, it can be very, very slow at times. All right. So after dragging something into Canva, if you actually scroll down enough, you might be able to notice it somewhere around here. But let me just do it again because obviously it didn't load the first time around. So if I actually drag it, it should be in my projects, or maybe Canva today is not willing to cooperate. So if I actually scroll down enough, I should be able to see it. There it is. It should be somewhere around here. And I could have just created a post, and that would be it. So if I click on the image, I can actually edit it. And I just want to show you Canva Magic Studio and what it can do. And one of the things it can do is it can expand upon an image. So it is called the outpainting feature. Outpainting means that you can actually make the image bigger than it is. So you can add more. For example, we can predict what the lower body will look like, predict what the right-hand side would look like, by making this particular image bigger. So I'm going to use the design. So this is if you haven't used Canva yet, the new interfaces has been a couple of, maybe 2 months ago. It's been like this. They change a couple of things, but the good thing about Canva is that no matter how many things they change, you can still navigate your way and easily figure stuff out. So right here, what I want to do is I want to make sure this is not set to background. So you just want to take the image and you want to scale it. So I want to scale it down. Okay, so I'm going to use S and scale it like so. And as you can see, that's kind of scales it down. And I want to show you. So if you put the image, for example, right over here in the middle, assuming you want to make it bigger, what you can do is you can just put it somewhere. And then you can click the edit button. Now the image is much smaller. And this is only for people that have Canva Pro. So you can use the Magic Eraser, Magic Grab, Grab Text, and Magic Edit, and Magic Expand. Quite frankly, Magic Expand is what I want to use. So I'm going to click Magic Expand, making sure that you have clicked the image. And then you could actually just select some missing parts. I'm just going to select this. And I'm going to expand. So now what Canva is going to do is going to study the image. As you can see with that Blu-ray filter that it's doing running right now. It's kind of studying what this picture is about. Okay, so it's about a girl. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to add what we think. So it's a predictive AI. So it kind of predicts what the character would look like, the lower body of the character. Sometimes it can do crazy things, such as in the second image, it made her have some flowers in her hands, which is quite good. And it also predicts the background. So it adds a little bit more to the background. And so you just have to travel and navigate through each one of these and kind of just find the correct one and find the one that works best for you. I think that the one that works best for me is this one. Okay, so you can actually just click done right here, and that's pretty much it. Now, here's the thing. Now you can just make this image as a background, and another thing that you can do is you can actually add another page and make it page number 1, and then you can add the Leonardo AI image, the initial image. That is, there it is it? There it is, and you can actually set this image to the background. So here's a pretty beautiful effect I'm going to do. You can set it as a background, and then you can do here, you can add what we call a transition, and then you can add a transition. It's called the flow transition, and it's 1.5 seconds. Well, I'm just going to make it 0.5 seconds instead. And right here, you can click the duration button, and instead of this being 4 seconds, we can make it maybe 1.2 and apply to all pages, and that's 2 seconds, and you can download that as a GIF. And what the flow transition does is if I move from slide to slide, watch what happens. There's a flow there, right? So it kind of shows it as a transition like this, and you can see how beautiful this is. This is really beautiful. And so normally the people that are, if you're on Instagram, you can actually post this to Instagram and kind of showcase this as, let's just say, a status post. Okay, that's just one of the cool things that you can do with Canva in case you want to be a professional Instagram character designer. All right. Now, going back to Runway ML for one last thing. So here, I'm going to click on a generative session because I want to utilize the Gen 3 Alpha of Runway. This is a paid option as well. And what that allows you to do is allows you to take an image and turn it into a video. So here, if you click, there's Gen Alpha Turbo, there's Gen 3 Alpha. I'm going to use Gen 3 Alpha Turbo. And I would like to drag and drop the initial image, not the one that we expanded, but the initial image. And once I drag the expanded image, you can just go ahead and take that description that ChatGPT gave you at the beginning of the model. Here, there it is. The model has so just describe the model and describe her a little bit, not so much. And then you can come back here. Now, I just want to keep it like that. I'm going to click crop. I want to keep it this size. I don't want to crop too much. And actually, I don't know if this is the image I want to, no, this is not the image that I want to edit. Yeah, so I'm going to delete, actually, because I made a mistake. That's the image. So that's the image I want to add. All right, so I want to add her outdoors. That's better, I think. And then I just want to add inside of this tool, you can describe what you want the character to do. So if you want the character to be smiling, then you can just describe the character to be smiling. So I'm just going to paste that description, and then here, the model is smiling. That's it. I'm not going to add her description because the tool knows. And then here, you can generate 10 seconds or 5 seconds. I'm going to keep it at 10 seconds. And then here, you have multiple options. Well, the settings, if you click the settings, you can see that you have a lot of different options here that you can use. But I'm just going to go and straight hit the generate button. So now what it's going to do is it's going to go ahead and it's going to take this picture. It's going to try to turn it into a video. The beautiful part about this tool here, Runway ML, is it will animate it. It will try to keep it human, and it will try to keep it true to the character. So if you want not only to generate pictures, but you want to generate videos, then this is your go-to. And in the future, it's going to get better. Now, of course, when someone looks at this at first and sees the video, they will most likely think, well, it's pretty good, but still, I can see it's AI, okay? Sometimes maybe they might not be able to see it's AI, but most likely they will be able to see that it is AI. But in the future, I believe they'll not be able to tell the difference. So let's play this video for a second. Let's see. And as you can see, it's not so bad, all right? So it's pretty good. Hopefully there is not something that happens that kind of, botches the video. But it's pretty good, right? It showcases a pretty good video. So I have nothing wrong with this. I think that this can work really good on Instagram video. Now, you can say the model is happy and smiling and beautiful. Beautiful. And let's say, for example, you want to try a different iteration. You want to generate another one. Now, I have to say, this one is not so bad, right? It's pretty good. Pretty good for an AI-generated video. And like I said, yeah, there are a couple of things that might give this away, like the hair is moving. Those hairs, you can see they're zigzagging, even though it doesn't seem to be that there is a lot of air in the area. You can see her hair changing, shape shifting a bit. But it's not so bad. It's pretty good. If you look very close, you might notice the difference. But if you don't really look close, you might not really notice the difference. So here, as you can see, this is the second video. Let's hope it's better than the first one. Actually, this one is nice, but her hair is moving on its own. So I don't know, but to me, that doesn't really seem good. So it seems that this one is a little bit more realistic than the other one, but not so bad. So you can try different iterations until you get the perfect shot. But the bottom line is that you asked for it. You asked for a lecture on how to create Instagram characters, and there you go. There you have it. So now we have just shown you how you can do it. And just go ahead and make sure you do this. And remember that you can use the filters quality. So in Instagram, they got a lot of filters. So when you're adding images, you can just add some filters to them. You don't need to go to Canva or anywhere else. You can just use Canva, Instagram's filters when you're adding the pictures. And you can try to just smoothen the picture and make it look a little bit more realistic. Maybe lower the contrast a bit, add a little bit more brightness and so on and so forth, and reduce the clarity and the sharpness of the image, because you can clearly see the edges. You can see it's almost like a drawing. But if you reduce the sharpness, it's going to be smoother and it's going to look more like a picture. All right. But the bottom line is that most people don't really know that, will not really know that these are actually AI generated, except for if they have heard of it before or saw it before. But most people just take it at face value at first. And so you can go ahead and right now maybe build an Instagram character, give her a name, maybe get the character to a specific amount of followers, and maybe start getting hopefully some good sponsorship deals, right? Not trying to scam anyone out of their money, but maybe sponsorship deals. I know a lot of Instagram characters made with AI that now have deals with brands, right? With clothing brands. They have deals with these types of companies. And that's what you want. You don't want to do some shady stuff and use this technology here to do some shady stuff to earn income in the bad way. Because you can earn income in the bad way and it's permitted, but it's going to come back full circle. And we're all about teaching you some good things to earn money. Personally, I don't use Instagram characters, never used them. Actually, I own a character that I've created with AI, and I have 31,000 or 31 plus thousand followers with the character. If you don't believe it, let me show you. And intending to grow it to 100,000, 200,000 characters in the future. And this character I grown this character with AI, and you can see her name is Sophia Gold, and this is completely AI, right? So it's not a real picture. This is not a real picture. This is a Leonardo. It's actually generated using Midjourney, that one. And I have this particular page here where I share a lot of useful stuff for women with diabetes, and you can see that some of these recipes might seem like unhealthy, but they actually take into consideration people with diabetes, and also trying to cook some things that are delicious and not boring all the time, because these people have a lot of boring recipes that they're eating. And so, yeah, and we have, it's pretty good. It's doing pretty good. So that's pretty much it for this particular lecture. I hope that you've enjoyed it. And wish you the best as always. Passive Income Gen Z and signing out.